Hi and welcome back. In this tutorial, I'm going to talk about the between operators. And so pretty much between operator allows you to select values within a given range. So, and the value could be text, date, number, etc. So let's look at the syntax. I'm going to start with how you can actually work around between or a function that can be substituted by between, but then I'm going to come talk about between operator. So for example, if you wanted to query between a given range within GDP and say, okay, give me everything from the world indicator table where GDP is, let's say, uh, 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 greater than 80 and GDP is below uh, 90, right? So this will do the job for me. It's going to give me all the GDPs that falls between these two ranges. But sometimes you don't want to have too many nested and uh, subclauses. And so what you want to do is you want to use a between operator. And the between operator really makes it easy, especially when you want to work with like text or date or other type of data types. So the way the syntax works is that we of course we use the between operator in a where clause, and because it's very inclusive, so we're going to keep the where clause, and then we're going to use the variable name and then the between operator. So we're going to say give us everything from the word indicator table where GDP is between 80 and 90, and this is it. This should give you the same data as you just saw now. So uh, yeah, and if you were to let's say add additional clause to your, let's say you want to say give me everything where GDP is between this and that, but then also give me uh, let's say give me all of the countries where the region is let's say and uh, or the countries where the region is includes uh, let's say Southern Asia and the Caribbean. There you go. Now, not only do we have a where clause for GDP to say, the GDP score should fall between 80 and 90, the region should also include these two regions. So you're limiting your filter uh, to two different parameters here. And when you run it, as you can see, the only regions that you have here is Southern Asia and the Caribbean, and the GDP is between 80 and 90. So again, you can add additional. You can say or and then add something else, or you can add another add clause to it. So it could be expanded as much as you want. But just remember that the between operators, it's it's it can be a breakthrough for you if you have multiple values where you want to specify something to be greater than a value or lower than a value. And again, we can use the same. We can say we use the not include as well. So or not between. So let's say we want to reverse, or I want to inverse everything to exclusion. So we say give us everything for the world indicator table where the GDP is not between 80 and 90, right? And then region does not include Southern Asia and Caribbean. Now this time we're going to get everything opposite of what we have here. So here we include these. Here we want to include these uh, parameters. So let's go ahead and run it. And there you go. You can see that we have everything except for the GDP that falls between 80 and 90, which you will not see it here, and where the region does not include the Southern Asia and the Caribbean. So And just want to make sure that you also know the inverse of, you can actually use the not to negate or inverse actually most of the functionalities in your queries. Either it's including, there's something being equal operator, or uh, it has such a expansive applicability and use that can make things so easy for you. We can also use the between operator for text. The only thing is that text data type or based on the ASC 2 uh, 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 coding system, which is the American Standard Code for Information, excuse me, interchange. So, in order for you to understand where, the character codes fall, what they really look like, you can go to the AC organization website and get all that information. Look at the tables that they have there. If you're going to be dealing a lot with sort of query operators that involve text or character data types. So let's say we're going to run for as an example a where clause with an operator for text. Let's say we're going to ask to see all of the data for the word indicator table where let's say the country name, where the country name falls between, uh, let's say we're going to use Brazil, right? And let's say uh, Latvia. And let's go ahead and run this. And you're going to see that all of the beginning of the letters actually starts with B, and it ends in the letter that ends in I, meaning there's nothing after I. So anything before L is I in our table. Let's say if we change this to G, then we're only going to see everything between B and G. There you go. So apparently there's no G, so the last record that we have here is E, unless I'm not seeing it here. Be careful with the cases because the cases, each value of the text has its own coding value or a number. So be careful with the capitalization because I know B has a different number, encoded number, and C has a different when it's in capital mode or it's in lowercase mode. So be mindful of your capitalization as well because you want to make sure that you're counting the right range of text data. All right, this is it for this video. Thank you, and talk to you later.